All right, guys, this is my Tidbyt versus Divoom comparison. Why have these been sitting in my closet collecting dust for the last year, ever since I got my Tidbyt? And in fact, why did I buy 3 of these, put them in the closet, and forget about them before I bought my Tidbyt in the first place? Let's go ahead and discuss that in this video. Also, guys, if you do want a little bit of a discount, I'm not even an affiliate for Tidbyt or anything like that. It's just like a referral code. Since I bought it, I could give you a code. You use that code, you get $10 off, and I'll make $10. So yeah, win-win. Check that out if you're interested in the description down below. All right, guys, so these are the big Divooms. I think they're called Divoom Max or something like that. And I've had a lot of issues with these. And in fact, as you can see right now, they're not even plugged in. And there's a reason for that. Well, they kind of stopped working. Basically, the problem I've had with these is that they will work at first glance. You'll set it up and it will work. I've tried resetting them at least 10 times each. And then they'll always get to a point where the screen freezes and they kind of stop connecting properly. I don't know why that is, but that's just what happens. Besides that, though, even if they did work, they're not as good as the Tidbyt, and I could explain why. Number one is that each one needs an SD card, a micro SD card. The Tidbyt doesn't need one at all. That's another fee you'll have to pay when using these. Outside of that, though, the construction is very cheap and plasticky, as you can see here. The screen and on the back has a little stand, but it just doesn't have that premium kind of feel as the Tidbyt does. It's made out of wood. So now I can kind of show you the difference, like in terms of the build quality. As you can see here in this clip, it's kind of got a nice kind of almost like wooden picture-like frame. You can see the individual kind of like diodes of the lights. This is in this actual footage right here is actually on one of the lower settings of brightness. It's around 28. The back, like I said, it does remind me of a picture frame. I do like how it only has one cord. It's easier to put in than the Divoom ones. And like I said, there's no formal SD card or anything like that required. It just works perfectly fine without any of that extra stuff. And the added power cable and stuff like that works fine too. As you can see here, I'm going to be kind of bumping up the brightness. Like I said, I prefer around 27 to 28. So watch carefully. It's right here is 27, and then we're going to bump it out to 100. And when it's at 100, it really does pop. It has an intense amount of brightness that makes it look really cool. It's a little bit hard to capture on camera, but you can see the reflections actually on my table to show how bright it can get. And I think if you're really looking for something that's kind of further away from your eyes, maybe in the corner of a room or as more of a decorative piece like that, the high brightness setting is going to be really cool, and it definitely gives it a really good pop. So another issue is that these kind of, this is like, I don't even think this works with it. The Divooms are very, very picky with the power adapters. There's even some warnings saying, you have to use certain ones. Outside of that, though, the application for the Tidbyt is miles and miles ahead. Now, I recorded a little bit of the application just to show you guys how well laid out the Tidbyt one is. It's very simple. There's like one button to go to the actual apps and kind of look at things. Now, I objectively think the Divoom app is much more confusing to use. There's various tabs on the bottom that aren't really explained. The organization of different kind of widgets is not very good. The individual widget selection is not very good. They're kind of buggy and a little tricky to set up. I would say that the application and overall kind of way that Divoom has set it up, it's primarily based more around graphic kind of designs from the community. It definitely has more of that feel, which is kind of cool. It definitely has a lot more designs to pick from in terms of the artistry. That said, it can be really annoying to get these to apply and look be on the screen. However, that said, if you're looking for something more like an actual widget that has a combination of cool kind of graphics and stuff like that, I mean, the Tidbyt has that too. If you go to the entertainment function, you can have some cool little digital rain, some cool little graphics, fire logs, stuff like that. Please stand by, that's cool. Some jokes. So it's like, why would you get the Divoom when you can get the Tidbyt? I think it's a better company too. It feels more up to date. Divoom doesn't really answer any of my emails. I said I had tons of problems. Anyways, guys, that's kind of like my comparison why I chose and kept the Tidbyt over the Divooms. The Divooms are still not working for me. You have to have an SD card for each one, which gets very expensive. Their power cord and kind of adapter to plug into the wall is very specific. The voltage is required. The applications are very buggy. The hardware itself seems to have a lot of issues. The build quality is not very good, and it's expensive for all that. The Tidbyt has none of those issues. The only thing this has an advantage for, I suppose, is it has a little bit more artistic designs you can choose from if you really like that aspect of it. But in all other areas, the Tidbyt absolutely smashes this garbage out of the water. Anyways, guys, I hope you found that to be an objective comparison. I have a little bit of a bias since all my Divooms shit the brick. But yeah, my Tidbyt, I've had it for like a month now, and it's been working better than the Divooms ever did. So yeah.